Tiffany Henyard has turned her political career into a whirlwind of controversy and unpredictability. From fiery public clashes to accusations of power abuse, the latest scandal surrounding her might just be the breaking point that sends everything spiraling out of control. In today's video, we're diving deep into the explosive aftermath of the infamous caucus fiasco and how Tiffany is scrambling to contain the chaos she's trapped in. But this isn't just about her latest lawsuit. This story runs far deeper. It's a tale of political backstabbing, personal betrayals, and power plays so ruthless they make Hollywood thrillers look tame. Tiffany isn't just fighting for her career, she's fighting for her future and whatever remains of her reputation. But can she withstand the storm that's coming? You won't want to miss this. Let's get straight into it. The first chapter in this unraveling saga begins with Tiffany Henyard's latest legal move. She took the bold step of filing a lawsuit against State Senator Napoleon Harris and the Democratic Party, claiming unfair practices. On the surface, it seems like just another political dispute, but there's far more beneath the surface. Tiffany insists that the caucus process she was a part of was riddled with voter suppression, exclusion tactics, and behind-the-scenes scheming. As shocking as that sounds, the situation takes an even stranger turn. What really raises eyebrows is the unexpected inclusion of Fitzgerald Roberts, the mayor of Dixmoor, as a plaintiff in Tiffany's lawsuit. And here's where things start to unravel. Roberts wasn't just an uninvolved party. He had absolutely no clue his name was even being used in the case. According to Roberts, this was a complete blindside, a move made without his knowledge or approval. He wasted no time setting the record straight, issuing a statement that left no room for doubt. I want to make it absolutely clear. I was not aware of any lawsuit filed on my behalf. I did not authorize or initiate any legal action, nor was I consulted about these filings. This revelation sets off a major red flag. How does a high-profile political figure's name get attached to a lawsuit without their consent? This wasn't some minor clerical error. It's a glaring misstep that exposes just how recklessly Tiffany handles sensitive political affairs. But the real question is, what actually happened here? Did Tiffany completely misinterpret a conversation with Roberts? Did he casually express frustration over political matters, and she took that as support for her legal battle? Or was this a calculated move on Tiffany's part, a deliberate attempt to lend credibility to her lawsuit by dragging in a name with more political weight? It's a puzzle that just doesn't seem to fit. Roberts is standing firm, rejecting any involvement, yet Tiffany's actions suggest either a massive misunderstanding or a strategic manipulation designed to bolster her position. But this is only the beginning. The real chaos erupted in the aftermath. As a public figure with his own reputation to uphold, Fitzgerald Roberts wasted no time seeking legal counsel the moment he learned of his unauthorized involvement. His priority? Getting his name removed from the lawsuit as fast as possible. And that's where things get even messier. Roberts isn't just distancing himself from Tiffany's legal battle, he's making sure everyone knows he wants nothing to do with it. His legal team is exploring every available option to extricate him from the lawsuit, and his public statements leave no room for ambiguity. This isn't just a misunderstanding, it's turning into a full-blown scandal, one that's putting Tiffany Henyard under an even harsher spotlight. And if you think this is where the drama ends, think again. This is just the beginning of a political disaster that's threatening to unravel everything Tiffany has built. Stay tuned, because what happens next could change everything. Yet, Tiffany's camp has failed to offer any real explanation as to why Fitzgerald Roberts was dragged into this mess. Was it truly just a clerical error? Or was Tiffany attempting to fabricate support for her case, pulling in others without their consent? After all, her track record makes one thing clear. She's no stranger to bending the truth when it suits her agenda. Robert's strong reaction only underscores how damaging this lawsuit could be. Imagine being a public official, waking up to find your name attached to a highly controversial lawsuit, one you never agreed to. The damage to your credibility would be instant. Not only would it place you under public scrutiny, but it could also open the door to potential legal consequences. Roberts never signed up for this, and his swift efforts to distance himself from Tiffany's lawsuit are a direct response to her overreach. What's even more alarming is Tiffany's reaction to the entire debacle. Instead of admitting the mistake and issuing a public apology, she's doubling down, framing the situation as a simple misunderstanding. But this isn't just an innocent mix-up. It's a calculated political move that has completely backfired. And Tiffany's refusal to take responsibility is only making things worse. As this story continues to unfold, it's becoming increasingly obvious that Tiffany's version of events isn't always rooted in reality. She has a well-documented history of twisting situations to serve her own political ambitions. And this lawsuit is no different. Whether she misunderstood Roberts's position or knowingly dragged him into this legal mess, one thing is certain. Tiffany isn't as transparent as she wants the public to believe, but her legal troubles are only one piece of a much larger puzzle. The political fallout from her actions has been just as dramatic. Rumors are swirling. Rumors that Tiffany Henyard is on the verge of being expelled from the Democratic Party. And the reason? Simple. Loyalty. Or, in Tiffany's case, a complete lack of it. Tiffany's relationship with the Democratic Party has been anything but stable. She's been publicly embraced by high-profile Democrats, including Vice President Kamala Harris. But in the same breath, she's also openly expressed admiration for Donald Trump. Yes, you heard that right. Tiffany Henyard has not only praised the former president, but has also congratulated him during his election campaigns and publicly supported his policies. This kind of blatant political flip-flopping does not sit well with party leaders, especially when it plays out so publicly. In the world of politics, loyalty matters. And when you openly endorse the opposition while still claiming to be part of the party, you're bound to make enemies. That's exactly what Tiffany has done. Her actions have raised serious questions about her integrity, and many within the Democratic Party are now questioning whether she can be trusted at all. The situation has reached a breaking point. Tiffany is no longer viewed as a reliable ally within the Democratic Party, and the cracks in her support system are beginning to show. Party leaders are distancing themselves from her, and whispers of her potential expulsion are growing louder by the day. If this happens, it would be a devastating blow to her political career, one that she may not recover from. But here's the thing. Controversy is Tiffany's lifeblood. She's never shied away from political chaos. In fact, she thrives on it. Whether it's praising Trump one moment and endorsing Democrats the next, Tiffany has made a name for herself by stirring the pot. But how long can this strategy work? How long before her erratic behavior catches up to her? The real question now is, can Tiffany salvage what's left of her standing within the Democratic Party? Or has she burned too many bridges to come back from this? Right now, the clock is ticking, and if things continue down this path, Tiffany's time in the Democratic Party may be coming to an end. And if her legal battles and political betrayals weren't enough, there's still the caucus controversy, one of the most defining moments of her career. Tiffany's supporters claim she was wronged during the caucus process, alleging that party officials shut her out and engaged in voter suppression. But when you examine the facts, a very different picture starts to emerge. The truth? Tiffany was never eligible to be a nominee in the first place. The requirements were crystal clear, and she knew she didn't meet them. But instead of acknowledging that reality, she chose to spin a different narrative, one where she was the victim of a corrupt system. Rather than take accountability, Tiffany lashed out at caucus organizers, accusing them of purposely suppressing her vote and blocking her from the process. The problem? Her claims simply don't add up. She knew she didn't qualify, yet she conveniently left that part out of her story. Instead, she focused on her accusations, shifting public attention away from her own shortcomings and onto a so-called conspiracy against her. This is classic Tiffany Henyard, manipulating public perception to suit her needs. It's a well-worn political strategy. When you're caught in the wrong, don't admit it. Instead, redirect the narrative. Make yourself the victim, point fingers elsewhere, and let the outrage drown out the truth. By accusing party officials of voter suppression, Tiffany successfully deflected from the real issue, her own lack of preparation and qualifications. But that raises an important question. Why didn't Tiffany meet the requirements in the first place? If she was serious about securing her nomination, why didn't she take the necessary steps to ensure her eligibility? It almost seems as though she was banking on the public believing her victim narrative rather than confronting the facts. And her manipulative tactics don't stop there. Another troubling example: the way she's been using elderly citizens at her bingo events. On the surface, these events might seem harmless, just a fun activity for seniors, complete with prizes and social gatherings. But a closer look reveals something much more calculated. Tiffany has been accused of using elderly individuals as political props, parading them around for photo ops and exploiting them to boost her own public image. Reports suggest that seniors attending these events are made to wait outside in freezing temperatures for hours, all so Tiffany can capture the perfect shot for her social media pages. It's exploitation, plain and simple. And then there are the extravagant prizes. While most politicians might hand out small tokens like gift cards, Tiffany takes it a step further, giving away expensive appliances like washers, dryers, refrigerators, and air fryers. It's not the prizes themselves that are the issue, it's the clear political motive behind them. Tiffany isn't just hosting these events out of the kindness of her heart. This is a calculated PR stunt designed to make her look generous while strategically securing political favor. But here's where her true lack of empathy shows. She's willing to use some of the most vulnerable members of her community as pawns in her political game. This isn't about helping people. It's about bolstering her own image. It's deceitful. It's manipulative. And for anyone paying attention, it should raise serious concerns. And this is just the beginning. Because beyond the lawsuits, the caucus controversy, and the bingo scandal, there's still one more major issue looming over Tiffany Henyard, her financial management. And trust me, when we get into that, the picture only gets worse. Tiffany Henyard's political career is unraveling under a storm of scandals. From a reckless lawsuit against Democratic leaders to flip-flopping political loyalties, her actions have exposed a pattern of manipulation and self-preservation. A recent audit failure at Thornton Township, where an independent firm refused to endorse financial reports due to missing documentation, raises serious questions about mismanagement and possible corruption. Her close ally, Robert Hunt, has long enabled questionable deals, including the controversial towing contract with her baby daddy, Early Walker. Meanwhile, Tiffany's exploitation of elderly citizens at bingo events and her attempt to paint herself as a victim in the caucus controversy further reveal her willingness to twist the truth for political gain. With her financial operations under investigation and party leaders distancing themselves, Tiffany's future hangs by a thread. The question is, will she weather the storm? Or is this the beginning of the end?